News Hour at 9. Co-powered by Qatar Airways.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. As the 2024 Mahabharata approaches, the clash between Dharma and Adharma, right and wrong, Sanatan Bharat and a secular India looms large. The battle for the mandate has reached fever pitch, with Times Now, the election news headquarters, once again presenting a revealing poll tracker to show how the elections are going to swing on certain specific issues. The Times Now ETG Research Survey sheds light on who has the voters' support on Sanatan Dharm, the Sanatan backers or the Sanatan baiters. Before we dive into the survey results, let's first understand what triggered the latest face-off. The war of words has now shifted to a fierce poster battle. The banners displayed on your screens represent the blows and counter blows exchanged by the BJP and the Congress. The BJP's poster labeling Gandhi as a contemporary Ravan has deeply ruffled the feathers of the grand old party. Consequently, the Congress party has responded with a poster portraying the Prime Minister as a demon and a puppet of industrialist Adani Group. In fact, it says that the BJP is trying to incite violence against Rahul Gandhi by putting out a Ravan poster. Listen in.
Mr. Rahul Gandhi ji has lost his father, former Prime Minister of India, Rajiv Gandhi ji, on a violent way, and his grandmother, I.N.D.I.A. Gandhi ji, was assassinated on violence. Therefore, the attack on Mr. Gandhi, these kind of posters by the BJP shows that it has the approval of Mr. Modi and I.N.D.I.A. and Amit Shah. This is a conspiracy to attack Mr. Rahul Gandhi ji.
जाकी रही भावना जैसी देखी मूर्ति न तैसी. भारतीय जनता पार्टी का जो चरित्र है, जो चेहरा है, वही वो दूसरों में देखना चाहती है.
Invoking Sanatan, a key partner of Team India, posed a question to the BJP asking if their teachings encourage branding political opponents as Ravan. In response, the BJP countered by saying that the citizens are well aware of who's supporting Ram and who's siding with Ravan. Listen in.
तो यही लोग सनातन धर्म की कस्में खाते, ये जानते हैं सनातन धर्म क्या है? सनातन धर्म यही सिखाता है कि आप अपने जो आपका ओपोनेंट है उसको रावण बताओ. ये तो बड़े ही भ्रष्ट लोग हैं.
तो भाई कौन राम के साथ है, कौन रावण के साथ है, कौन धर्म के साथ है, कौन अधर्म के साथ है, कौन अपने पूर्वजों की विरासत के साथ है और कौन उनके पूर्वजों की विरासत के साथ है, जनता को दिखाई पड़.
Ahead of the war, let's stick to the numbers and data. Here on Times Now ETG survey, we went away from Delhi Darbar and spoke to the Janta on the ground to gauge the mood of the nation. First, let's tell you about the basis of these projections. Sample size for this survey was 9,772 people. The surveys were conducted by telephonic interviews. And let's look at what the questions on Sanatan Dharm threw up as the answers. Let's first take a look at question number 1. And the question number 1 was on Sanatan, and we will also get you the political fallout of what happens. Question number 1, how do you see the comparison of Sanatan to illnesses? Because Sanatan has been called dengue, virus, this, that and the other. Well, 34% of the people believe that Hindus have been targeted. 24% of people believe this is religious appeasement. 20% people believe this is pure politics. 22% people believe can't really say which way this is going. Question number 2 that we asked our respondents, is it appropriate to compare Sanatan to various diseases? Well, what will you say? The responses for this, 39% say that Hindus have been hurt, their feelings have been hurt. Freedom of speech, say 30%. Look at that number of 31%. Can't say. Are they not saying because they will express themselves closer to the elections? Look at that number, can't say, the fence sitters. And even the next 2 questions, I will request viewers and panelists to look at the can't say number there, because that holds the key. Who's felt hurt? Who thinks it is not even an issue? We don't really know, because that number seemingly is very high. So question number 3 that we asked our respondents, what will you say on Rahul Gandhi's silence over Sanatan being compared to various diseases? That number throws up, it's wrong for Rahul Gandhi to stay silent. 35% of the people believe that. 26% of the people believe that it is a political compulsion for him to allow the DMK to say what it did, and therefore Rahul Gandhi is silent. Can't say, 39% of the people are sitting on the fence. Are they angry, not expressing themselves, or are they really thinking that this is a non-issue? Well, we don't know, but that number is very, very large, 39% of the people. Now, question number 4. How will the controversial comments on Sanatan impact the upcoming elections? When we ask that question, heavy losses for India alliance, 21% believe only that India will have a loss in elections due to the Sanatan debate. 24% people believe India will lose out on various seats in the north. 24% people believe that. No loss, no gain, non-issue, say 22% people. 33% people again say can't say. Are they angry or are they dismissive? That's the question. Let me go straight across to my panel. Joining me tonight, Dr. Sudhanshu Trivedi, Member of Parliament and Senior Spokesperson of the BJP, Subhrashta, founder of the Churn, Sanjay Jha, author, Rohit Agarwal, spokesperson of the RLD, Jagadeeswaran, political analyst, supports the DMK, Dr. Suman Siraman, political analyst, also joining the show. Dr. Sudhanshu Trivedi. Dr. Sudhanshu Trivedi, poster wars going on, Ram versus Ravan versus Modi, Modanav. Is this really the issue, or is this a result of the Sanatan slander that really took place? Because people do feel that Hindus have been hurt or are they on target, but a lot of people are silent and feel that Congress party, of course, should have spoken, Rahul Gandhi should have spoken, but nobody feels this is going to be an election issue that will make the Congress party and the India alliance lose elections. So where do you stand on this whole debate on Sanatan?
Actually, if you look, this statements of giving a very personalized, derogatory, dastardly statements against Sri Narendra Modi is going on since 20 years. And against Bharatiya Janata Party and Sangh Parivar since last 32-33 years, from the time of Ram Mandir movement. The issue is, the moment the Indian society is coming up with confidence of their cultural awakening, and they are coming out of the shadow of the Macaulay and Marx mindset, which has been propagated by the Britishers and subsequently by the communists, then they think that their entire empire is coming under a withering effect. So in order to counter that, they go to any extent that how they can damage. I am not saying against BJP. I am not saying just Sri Narendra Modi as person, because he has become a symbol of the confidence emerging in the Indian, both in terms of their development, in terms of the security of the nation, the pride of the nation, and the legacy of the nation and the culture of the nation. So this is a systematic attack in which the forces from within and from outside are very much there. So their real face is actually exposed totally. On the issue of Sanatan Dharma, they used to say this type of language, but on the other, they keep such a mum. And one thing I would like to say, ये जो लोग बोलने की बात कहते हैं, just one thing. Udaynidhi Stalin, does he have faith in Stalin? Because they are putting the name of Stalin in it. And you know what Stalin had said? He is following the things of Marx, and Marx has written in 1854 in New York Herald Tribune about India that the destructions which Britishers are doing to the India is painful but pleasurable also. Why he has used the word pleasurable? Because he said that the entire culture, entire legacy has to be demolished and destroyed for the new construction. So they are the Manas Putra of Macaulay. They are the carrier of that mindset that the entire previous culture is to be destroyed fully in order to create a new creation for the purpose of the Marx, and now the same is the market forces, whatever it is. So I think they are carrying over that colonial legacy in which the destruction of the Indian cultural values, destruction of the Indian social values, destruction of the Indian family values, and destruction of the Indian pride is at their foremost agenda. So whatever happens, I don't consider it as just a political matter. I consider it as an ideological agenda. It is not to do with just an election. It is a consistent agenda of around a century which has sharpened in the last 30 years and become more vociferous after Shri Narendra Modi has started leading to the country and to the Bharatiya Janata Party.
Sanjay Jha, respond because many people believe that this is really hurtful to a section of the society and certainly not in keeping with the Mohabbat ki dukaan that the Congress party wants to set up, or at least says that it has set up. On the other hand, people are also opposed to the fact that Rahul Gandhi has been totally silent on this. And in fact, in one statement, he even likened, various people, whether they speak or not speak, to Hindu gods and their idols in mandirs. बोलते नहीं हैं मूर्तियों की तरह, मंदिर की मूर्तियों की तरह. And this constant pinpricks towards one religion, is this just coincidental? People at least don't believe so. However, people also don't believe that this is the reason for any election result being based on just the Sanatan slander. But a large section of the people are silent. And Sanjay Jha, could that be anger? Could that be just people wondering what's really going on in this election space? Why has religion become such a football?
Navika, very pertinent question. I will not indulge in rhetoric. Let's look at some hard data. The Congress party has won 10 of the last 17 general elections and has governed India from New Delhi for almost 55 years. My friend Sudhanshu ji and the BJP are insulting. I'm using strong words. They're insulting the people of India who have voted in every election since we became independent, by saying that the Congress party or the opposition does not support pluralism or is against Sanatan Dharma. Sudhanshu ji, majority appeasement आप करते हैं क्योंकि आप देश को एक समूही तरीके से नहीं देखते हैं आप. You play the ultimate vote bank politics. Navika, what is the hard truth? Let's look at it. I am a Hindu. I'm a proud practicing Hindu. I want to apologize as a citizen of this country, as a Hindu, on behalf of a man whose party I oppose called Ramesh Biduri, who spoke in parliament in the most disgusting, reprehensible, and ugly manner, trying to divide India by targeting a community in the most, I don't have words to actually use there. Will Mr. Sudhanshu Trivedi today on your program apologize on his behalf, or will he hide under the fact some investigation is going on about what he said, and did Mr. Danish Ali provoke him? The Prime Minister obviously will not say a word because he's a master at frog whistling.
But before that, will you also apologize for those who actually stood out there and said that Sanatan Dharm is like dengue, like HIV, and that, Hindus and Sanatanis actually, are niche people. Would you apologize for that?
Navika, let me tell you, I think not just me, the Congress party's leaders have all spoken on the subject. And this is the main point. You know why you are getting a significant number of people on your survey saying can't say they don't want to take position is bad news for Mr. Trivedi. I'll tell you why. Because people who are actually more the kind who are seriously conservative or the extremely religious people whom the BJP wants to exploit are a minority in this country. You know, the BJP is the last party on this planet Earth to issue certificates on religion or pluralism or patriotism.
Well, then, Dr. Sanjay Jha, by the same logic that you gave me and our viewers tonight, you're insulting the people of India, because the people of India popularly chose the BJP to run this country in 2014, and then with a larger victory brought them back 2019. So aren't you insulting the people of India, Dr. Sudhanshu Trivedi? Please respond to Dr. Sanjay Jha and his logic.
On the logic of Dr. Sanjay Jha, I would like to recollect कि बचपन में हम लोगों ने एक चुटकुला सुना था कि एक बच्चा आया और उसने फादर से कहा कि आज मैं रेस में नंबर 1 आ गया, मैंने रेस जीत ली. तो द फादर आस्क्ड, हाउ वेरी गुड, हाउ मेनी बॉयज वर रनिंग इन द रेस? He was saying that I was alone running in the race. So Mr. Sanjay Jha, for first 44 years of Indian politics, there was only one party. There was no other party. The country's politics has become bipolar in 1991 when BJP got 120 seats, became the principal opposition party. And one brief period came in 1977 when Janata Party became second player. So the moment second player has come, you have been ousted. Till you were running the race alone, then you were saying, and one more thing I would like to say, have you fought with the help of the people's mandate? In 1946, it was a power transfer by Britishers to the Congress. Nothing to do with the people of India. It was under the aegis of Mountbatten. So 1947, it was not 1952 first election happened. Till that time there was no political party. Even the democracy starts getting matured in 77. For first 25 years there was no change in the government. So please sir, don't try to insult. You came in the power by insulting the mandate of your own party. When in April 1946, other than 2 Congress committees, all Congress committees voted for Sardar Patel and 0 vote for Jawaharlal Nehru, and then you are saying that he became PM. It was utter insult to the majority opinion in Congress. Forget about the public. Now, coming to today's point, I just want to say the factor and the problem is, again I will say, the moment India is upcoming with full confidence, their real face is coming in a very ugly shape. अभी इन्होंने कहा हमारे की बात पे मैं याद दिलाना चाहता हूं सर, ऑन द फ्लोर ऑफ द हाउस योर होम मिनिस्टर सेड हिंदू टेरर इशू, and when Sushma Swaraj ji asked, I am talking about Sushil Kumar Shinde in the winters, in the budget session of parliament in January, February 2013, आपने कहा है कि टेरर कैंप चल रहे हैं, give us the proof. On the floor of the house, your home minister withdrew his statement. नहीं, वो मैंने ऐसे ही कह दिया था. So this shows the type of, you can say, apathy and the type of contempt you are having for Indian culture. So this is, I'm just given the example on the floor of the house.
नहीं, आप ये बताइए कि रमेश भदौड़ी का जो बिल्कुल अभद्र और अश्लील जो उन्होंने भाषण दिया, उसके लिए आप माफी मांगेंगे आज? या नहीं? ये बड़ा आसान है. साधारण
जवाब देता हूं, सनातन HIV है, माफी मांगेंगे कि नहीं? सनातन HIV है, माफी मांगेंगे कि नहीं?
भैया मैं अपने तरफ से माफी,
आप देखिए भागेंगे, आप भागेंगे.
मैंने मांग लिया.
हमारे तो प्राइम मिनिस्टर, सुनिए,
मैं मांग लिया,
एट द टाइम, अब सुनिए,
मैं मांग गया, आप
बताइए. लेट मी कम. अरे सुनिए भाई, when Viduri was speaking, संजय झा सुनिए, अरे भाई, let me complete my submission, sir. When Viduri was speaking at that time, the senior most leader from our side who was present on the floor of the house was Defense Minister Shri Rajnath Singh, and he has expressed sorrow and he expressed regret that if anything untoward, and he said that he was unable to hear what exactly is being said in the din, but something of this sort has been said, then he expressed it. मैं पूछना चाहता हूं, HIV है सनातन, इसके लिए माफी मांगी राहुल गांधी ने? हमारे तो सीनियर मोस्ट लीडर ने मांगा, बोलिए।
गुरुजी, अरे गुरुजी, आप जितना भी भटकाने की कोशिश करें, सच्चाई सच्चाई ही रहेगा सुधा।
एग्जैक्टली, एंड सच्चाई यही है कि सनातन को HIV कहने के बाद किसी ने कुछ नहीं कहा, किसी ने माफी नहीं मांगी, लेकिन इशू इज दिस, there are a lot of people who are silent and keeping their cards close to their chest. And Subrashta ji, I want to ask you, are these people silent because they are not wanting to express, or are they silent simply because they don't have a view on the subject?
No, Navika ji, I'm sure they have a view on the subject. But I think there are people who would want to play their cards right. For some people, the abuse of Sanatan Dharm is just as any other, just as business as usual. It doesn't really matter to them. Because by design, our culture is such, and our the genetic makeup of Hinduism and Sanatan is such that we do not make a mountain out of a molehill. And even if it is a mountain, we prefer to sit at the we prefer to sit at the base of the mountain and pray rather than really start fighting with the might of the mountain. So I think a lot of people take undue advantage of that situation. Politically, what happens is that it's okay and cool to be a practicing Hindu, as Sanjay Jha said, in the confines of your home. But when it comes to defending Sanatan outside of the confines of your home, there are very few who politically take up positions. Now, this is the reason why ideologically the BJP has completely usurped the space and has today become sort of a spokesperson for Hinduism in more than one ways, Hindutva, Hinduism and Sanatan in more than one ways. Now, it is for the opposition parties to think if they should have allowed that to happen, and if historically that has happened, can they do something to amend that, amend this situation? Because when you cede ground to a political party, they are going to grab it by the horn. The problem is actually with the opposition, Navika ji. All these conversations should not happen in 21st century India. All these conversations, these are conversations of the past. We should have been done and dusted with this conversation. For all we know, we should only be talking about, as the opposition says, on issues of employment, on issues of economy.
Absolutely.
But for the indecisiveness of the opposition, but for the lack of a better word, but for the spinelessness of the opposition, the whole conversation today is embroiled around these meaningless controversies. We all know nothing is going to happen to Sanatan Dharma. We have faced much worse in the past. We have survived, but the problem is that if you in the past, yes, and but the problem is that when you do a self goal, then there's nothing in politics which is going to stop the leading party today to play its game.
Well,
and why should they not?
Let me get Mr. Jagadeeswaran. And Mr. Jagadeeswaran, do you think this was deliberately done? Because parties like the Congress party, the Samajwadi party, the RJD, they should not attack Hindus because North India, the feelings towards the religion, the Hindu religion, are different. Whereas the DMK is a party that officially follows atheism as as its belief. But the question is, when such statements are made, what is it that you're talking about? What is the idea of India that the India alliance is based upon? Isn't that question something that should be intrinsic to an alliance that actually wants people to perceive as representing the idea of India?
Okay. So I think this issue became a big issue once Udayanithi Stalin spoke about Sanatan Dharm. He went to a conference called Eradicate Sanatan Dharm, and he equated that to dengue, other illness, COVID, and that has to be eradicated. There's no point in just speaking against Sanatan Dharma, he said it should be eradicated. And when questions were repeatedly asked, and see the way Sanatan Dharma is understood in Tamil Nadu and probably South India and the rest of North India, I think it's quite different. Because when we say, you could have heard Governor Tamilisai Soundararajan also say about this. She was saying, since she was from Tamil Nadu, she was saying, only a section of people follow Sanatan Dharma. Whereas when Mamata Banerjee was speaking, she said she's equating the whole of the Hinduism to Sanatan Dharma. I think that's the difference that I think I should first make. Sanatan Dharma to us is followed by a particular section of people. And again, Udayanidhi Stalin said the tenets of Sanatan Dharma, because we think it is the Sanatan Dharma that has created casteism, that casteism that is still prevalent in society.
All right.
Creating divide between.
All right. So then, why do these parties want a caste census, a caste survey? Because it will divide more. Do you think it's going to heal? Do you think it's going to reform the caste system, or is it going to divide it more? Well, the debate is open on that as well, Mr. Jagadeeswaran.
No, the purpose of caste census is not to reform the caste system. I don't think that is going to serve. That is the purpose. I think the purpose is to see how much the OBCs have in jobs and in education, how much the OBCs have improved, and which caste improved more and which caste hasn't got these privileges. That is what this caste census is about. When there's a caste census taken, and when we compare that in an engineering college or a medical college or an arts college, we see, okay, because so much of OBC, so much of this caste, but this caste haven't got enough reservation in a job or in education. And that I think is the whole purpose of caste census.
Okay.
We see many places where there's only one particular...
Which even Ambedkar ji was opposed to, which Rajiv Gandhi was opposed to, which was opposed in the cabinet of the UPA government, but which now has become fashionable as an issue to pick up. Well, so be it, but let me go across to the next set of questions. It's not just about Sanatan Dharm that we asked our respondents. We also asked them about the Bharat versus India debate. Will this be a game changer? That's what we wanted to ask. And we asked the people, what is your opinion on the alliance of political parties called I.N.D.I.A? They say 27% people believe that it's not okay to call it India based on the country's name. 32% people believe it's all right for them to take this name. But 41% people believe that they cannot say. They are on the fence. Once again, do they know and not express, or do they just not care? Well, we'll talk about that. Question number 6, Bharat or India? What should be the name of the country? Well, look at the numbers there. Bharat or India, what does the country think? 48% people believe that Bharat is the name India should be known by. 34% believe, yes, it should be India. And 18% say can't say. But 48%, a stupendous majority, feel that Bharat is the better way of calling India. If the nation's name were to be projected as Bharat, how would you view it when this was asked? They say it will be great, 46%, not good, 29%, can't say. Which means that will it increase the stature of India in the world? Well, 46% people believe that yes, it will increase India's stature. Very, very telling question there. And then, of course, we asked them the question on One Nation, One Poll, and this is how they responded. 33% believe that yes, it's good, not required, 28%, but nearly 39% people say can't say, haven't made up their mind. That's the way it's stacked. Let me ask Dr. Suman Siraman. Dr. Suman Siraman, you know, it's an overwhelming majority of people who believe Bharat, which actually conveys an entire ethos, an entire sensibility of the people of this country, is a better name. And while India exists, but Bharat sort of gives us the kind of character that this country should have. Where do you stand on that?
Yeah, Navika, a simple question. How many of them were native Hindi speakers who did not speak English as their first language? Very simple. For them, it is already Bharat. So if you go and ask them, should Bharat be called Bharat or should it be called India? They are going to say Bharat. So this poll is ridiculous without knowing how many of them are people who answered this question were primarily native Hindi speakers who do not speak English. For them, it is already Bharat. If you ask them, do you want?
It was conducted across 16 states, Suman C. Raman. So are you saying? The poll is silly, people of this country are silly, you are dismissive, people are not dismissive.
No, people of the country are not silly, no. Answer the question.
16 states, and there are not 16 states that are Hindi speaking states in this country, Suman C. Raman.
Majority in the Hindi belt. If 9,000 people, you have taken a sample of 4,000 people odd from the Hindi belt, there your 48% has come. Simple.
Sample,
so anyway, let's not
sample size is the problem, Sudhanshu Trivedi. Sample size is the problem.
Sample size, no.
I would like to say that Suman C. Raman ji has made a ridicule of himself by this logic. Sir, forget about Hindi speaking. What India is called in Gujarati? India or Bharat? What it is called in Marathi? India or Bharat? What it is called in Bangla? India or Bharat? What it is called in Assamia? India or Bharat? What it is called in Odia? India or Bharat? What it is called in Kannada? India or Bharat? Sir, you have given a very ridiculous statement by yourself. Means India represents the English ethos and Bharat represents the Indian ethos. You yourself have made the thing very clear. अब कोई गुंजाइश नहीं रह गई साहब. आपने साफ कह दिया कि जो इंग्लिश नहीं जानता वो भारत जानेगा. मतलब इंग्लिश वालों का ये इंडिया है. तो this is nothing but a carrier of the colonial legacy of yourself.
Absolutely, and Dr. Sanjay Jha, Suman C. Raman फंस गए.
Now you have
Suman C. Raman फंस गए. The minute he answers, yes, Rohit Agarwal also on the show. Rohit Agarwal, Suman C. Raman फंस गए हैं कि नहीं अपने statement में? जब वो कहते हैं, if you have done this across Hindi states, then they will say Bharat. English speaking लोगों को अगर चुनोगे तो इंडिया होगा. So Dr. Sudhanshu Trivedi is just too smart to that go. उन्होंने कहा तो ये इंडिया गठबंधन इंग्लिश स्पीकिंग लोगों का है. Isn't it true?
हाँ, यस. ये एनलाइटमेंट जो है भारतीय जनता पार्टी का कब हुआ कि जो है इंडिया नहीं भारत होगा. इंडिया गठबंधन के फॉर्मेशन के बाद. उससे पहले स्किल इंडिया, मेक इन इंडिया, जीतेगा इंडिया, खेलेगा इंडिया, दौड़ेगा इंडिया, है ना. एंड दिस एनलाइटमेंट हैज बीन कम टू बीजेपी आफ्टर द इंडिया गठबंधन वाज फॉर्म्ड. So I don't know, like, why. I have a clip where Prime Minister is asking to vote for India, and he is asking very strongly to vote for India. And even Navika, your introductory speech was also having the word India. I have not heard from you that you have used the word Bharat. So, like, this is a completely non-required debate, because even I'm unable to understand why we are not talking about Hindustan. Hindustan is not our country name? So tomorrow you will come up that हमारे देश का नाम हिंदुस्तान होगा कि भारत होगा. अब देश के नाम पे भी डिबेट होगा क्या? देश का नाम क्या होगा? कौन क्या बोलता है? तो इंडियन टीम क्यों बोलते हो आप? ठीक है ना. अभी तो वर्ल्ड कप शुरू हो गया है, तो यू आर कॉलिंग इट एज अ इंडियन टीम, BCCI. So, like, we should respect at least the country's name. We should not debate on a illogical topic. Like, for BJP, Udayanidhi Stalin is a very tall leader. I hope they are considering Sanjay Nishat also as a tall leader. I hope they are considering Mr. Rajbhar also as a tall leader, Mr. O.P. Rajbhar. So, like somebody sitting in Tamil Nadu, and for you, it becomes the complete ideology of India Gadbandhan, because it suits you. है ना. सनातन का अपमान
इंडिया गठबंधन की कोई आइडियोलॉजी नहीं है.
के लिए आप आ जाते हो, पर सनातन का अपमान सनातन का अपमान,
सुधांशु जी
नहीं, सनातन का अपमान जब आदि पुरुष फिल्म में होता है तब सुधांशु त्रिवेदी कहते हैं कि अभी इस फिल्म के डायलॉग चेंज होंगे, और ये उस फिल्म के स्टार कास्ट को हर स्टेट के अंदर ऑनर कर रहे थे, और जब सनातन का अपमान उस फिल्म में होता है तब सुधांशु त्रिवेदी आके नहीं बोलते हैं कि हाँ जी ये बैन होनी चाहिए फिल्म।
All right.
तब
Important point. Dr. Sudhanshu Trivedi needs to respond to this. Sudhanshu ji.
Navika, one question.
I'm coming to you. Suman.
जनाब
One question.
वहां आ रहे हैं, सुनिए नाविका जी, फर्स्ट the movie and a statement of a leader is huge difference, but that movie star cast has tendered an apology and they withdrew the dialogue, और यहां तो डायलॉग चेंज हो गया। जो उदय दीदी ने कहा डेंगू और वायरस, और ए राजा ने कहा HIV, साहब यहां डायलॉग तो और बढ़ गया साहब। और आपने जो इंडिया और भारत कहा, इफ दिस इज एन इशू ऑफ ट्रांसलेशन देन इंडिया एंड भारत इज सेम, बट Rahul Gandhi has not said this is an election or fight for translation. He is saying it is a fight for idea. In the idea of India and Bharat is huge difference. And Mr. Agrawal is representing the RJD. मैं पूछना चाहता हूं, अब तो वैसे सबको पता ही होगा, फिर भी आप बता दीजिए जरा इंडिया गठबंधन का हिंदी में नाम बताइए।
RLD राष्ट्रीय लोकदल।
पहले तो आप मेरी पार्टी जान लीजिए,
तो इंडिया गठबंधन,
उसके बाद आप इंडिया गठबंधन का
सॉरी
है ना, पहले
सॉरी, मुझे
पार्टी जान लीजिए मुझे।
हाँ तो बताइए।
दूसरी चीज ये है सुधांशु जी, दूसरी चीज,
अरे कोई बात नहीं, वो मुझे यहां से मैं
किसी भी सवाल का लाइबल नहीं हूं। आई एम नॉट लाइबल टू आंसर यू, आई एम लाइबल टू आंसर नाविका, बट आई एम बिलीव मी आई एम नॉट लाइबल टू आंसर यू। बट आप ये बताइए, स्किल इंडिया, डिजिटल इंडिया, स्किल इंडिया, डिजिटल इंडिया, मेक इन इंडिया क्या था,
ट्रांसलेशन
ये क्या था, स्टेट बैंक ऑफ इंडिया क्या है,
गूगल में देख, है ना, प्लीज गूगल में
लाइफ इंश्योरेंस ऑफ इंडिया क्या है, LIC क्या है, आपने अभी तक उसके नाम क्यों नहीं बदले? 9 साल से क्या कर रहे हैं? खाली 9 साल से खाली सनातन की ठेकेदारी लेके घूम रहे हैं, पर सनातन को प्रोटेक्ट नहीं कर पा रहे हैं। हम जो है
गूगल में देख के बता
हम जो है अपने लोगों को फ्रिंज एलिमेंट कह के पलड़ा नहीं झाड़ते हैं। हम जो है अपने लोगों को फ्रिंज एलिमेंट कह के पलड़ा नहीं झाड़ते हैं, हम जिम्मेदारी लेते हैं। दूसरी चीज ये है,
there is no translation of India in Hindi because translation is not the real issue. Suman Siraman, what's your question? And Sanjay Jha, I'm coming to you.
One question to Sudhanshu ji. No, actually, I wanted to appreciate Sudhanshu ji and the BJP for having, given Rahul Gandhi the acknowledgement as a Sanatani. Now, you remember they came out with this Ravan, accusing him of being Ravan and so on. Ravan was a great Shiv Bhakt. So when you are a great Shiv Bhakt, you are automatically a Sanatani. And Rahul Gandhi himself is on record. Saying that he is a Shiv Bhakt.
But then,
so I think the BJP has scored one spectacular self-goal.
But then, my friend Dr. Suman Siraman, don't have partial amnesia, because Kharge ji has called the Prime Minister also So Sirwala Ravan. And Rahul Gandhi, I'm not going to say his words and I can't run the bite because it has been expunged in Lok Sabha. But he also said similar names for the Prime Minister. So I don't know what the Congress is objecting to, but Dr. Sanjay Jha, I'm coming to you, Subhrashta ji. Dr. Sanjay Jha, what's your point? What's your point? The point that Dr. Sudhanshu Trivedi is making, there is a difference between the translation of Bharat and India and the ethos and the idea and the ideology where Bharat and India are differentiated.
नाविका जी, मैं बहुत ही संक्षेप में इनके प्रश्न का जवाब देता हूं। सबसे पहले तो सुधांशु जी, आप भूल गए हैं कि इंडिया अलायंस कहता है जुड़ेगा भारत, जीतेगा इंडिया। इंडिया भारत एक ही है, आप उसको तोड़ने की कोशिश न करें। एंड वन क्वेश्चन टू माय फ्रेंड सुधांशु जी, जो उसका जवाब दे दीजिएगा। आप हमारे धर्म का, हमारे मजहब पर तो आप सिर्फ सियासत करते हैं, तो एक प्रश्न पूछना चाहते हैं, आप कास्ट सर्वे के इतना विरुद्ध क्यों हैं? क्योंकि देखिए, हमारे जो ओबीसी भाई हैं, शेड्यूल्ड कास्ट के हैं, शेड्यूल्ड ट्राइब के हैं, वो सब तो हिंदू धर्म के हैं। तो आप अपने ही हिंदू धर्म के तो हमारे भाई बहन हैं,
sorry to say, but Sanjay Jha, you could ask that question to Mr. Bhupesh Baghel, who has also done a survey but not made it public. पहले उनसे लीजिए, फिर सुधांशु जी से पूछेगा। क्यों सुधांशु जी?
Answer, Navika. Let him answer because the BJP is dodgy on caste survey.
मैं जवाब
So are you. So is the Congress party. So is the Congress party. I just want to make that point. Yes, Sudhanshu ji.
नहीं नाविका जी देखिए, रिब्यूकिंग
आज कर दीजिए पब्लिक।
अरे भाई सुनिए तो सर संजय झा जी, let me complete my submission. I think rebuking and disrespecting our elders, if art can be seen, it is seen from Congress party. In the last caste census of India was 1931. After India got independence, who took a decision that caste will not be in the census? It was Jawaharlal Nehru. It was Rajendra Prasad. It was Sardar Patel. It was Dr. Ambedkar. And what was the resolution? कि अंग्रेजों ने हमें बांटने के लिए कास्ट सेंसस किया था, नहीं होना चाहिए। आज मैं आपसे पूछना चाहता हूं, आप ये कहिए कि नेहरू गलत, गांधी गलत, तो हम आपकी बात मानने को तैयार हैं। दोनों नहीं हो सकता साहब, डिसीजन आपका था। द डिसीजन वाज ऑफ योर पार्टी। नाउ यू ओपनली से, और या फिर कहिए कि अरे आप धक्का मारो यार नेहरू को और इनको, गांधी जी को छोड़ो, अब हमारी राजनीति, या कह दीजिए दे वर नॉट सो फार साइटेड, नाउ देयर आइडियाज हैव गॉट इररिलेवेंट। प्लीज गिव मी एन आंसर एंड आई विल गिव यू आंसर। बताइए, नेहरू गलत थे, गांधी गलत थे, बोलिए। निर्णय आपका था ना, हमारा नहीं था। अरे मैंने आपसे पूछा ना, आपने बंद किया, तो मैं पूछा हूं बंद क्यों किया भाई? अरे बंद क्यों किया ये बताओ, फिर हमसे पूछो सुधार करना है कि नहीं, बताइए क्यों बंद किया?
ओबीसी और ओबीसी एंड ईबीसी आर 60%।
अच्छा चलिए, ओबीसी का जवाब देता हूं। काका कालेलकर कमीशन 1953 में बना, नेहरू ने अपने रिजीम में कभी इंप्लीमेंट नहीं किया। मंडल कमीशन 78 में बना। बाय द टाइम द रिपोर्ट केम, Indira Gandhi came into power. For entire tenure of Indira Gandhi and Rajiv Gandhi, they opposed, and Rajiv Gandhi on the floor of the house on December 1990, anybody can go and see what was his statement on the floor of the house on the issue of the Mandal Commission. Sir, वो तो छोड़िए, बट पहले बताइए बंद क्यों किया था?
Well, the Congress has tied itself up in knots because, frankly, it is the RJD, the JDU that can do politics of caste, but the Congress party has it strayed into difficult territory for itself. Why are its own leaders and chief ministers not revealing the caste census in their own states where they have the data? These are questions that will continue to chase the Congress party. But coming back to the survey, big news coming in at this moment that the virtual G20 summit will be held on the 22nd of November, and the question is related to G20. What is the perception of the people of India for the G20 summit held in Delhi? When asked this, people actually have gone out and said that 44% people believe that India has benefited from this. 29% of the people believe that India's stature has increased in the world. 27% people believe that it was a rotational thing, doesn't really matter if India held it, no big deal. So Subrashta ji, this was the survey so far on so many ideas of India, Sanatan Dharm, G20, on which the opposition has made a hoo-la-la over it. But the problem is, are they not getting the pulse of the people? And what about the silent majorities everywhere?
Navika ji, in my opinion, the silent majority decides every time. They decide during the electoral mandate, and they decide so decisively that for the rest of the 5 years, the opposition in this country, I'm not just talking about the Congress party, the opposition is not able to find its feet. It seems as if the feet turn into clay and they're not able to figure out what just happened. Let us understand that the issues that the opposition is raising, issues that the opposition are raising today are non-issues for people of this country. For once, they should stick to the agenda on which they should really oppose the government and ask the government, demand accountability from the government. But what do? They continue to shift goalposts and they do self-goals. Now, please make me understand, why would you go about talking ill of our country on foreign soil when you know that today internationally India's reputation has gone up by all, by all logical, rational explanations? Why would you go about raking up issues of communalism and secularism when you know the conversation is so jaded? People are not interested. Why do you not continue with issues of economic agenda when you know that these are issues which actually ail the country today?
Absolutely.
In my opinion,
and when
if I were to really analyze
is looking
it
at issues of jobs, employment, the inflation rates, when they are looking at economic development, they're looking at issues that relate to their daily lives. Then, to rake up issues like Sanatan slander, to rake up issues like the debate on India versus Bharat, to rake up issues like, just G20 not being a very big deal, it's rotational. Are they not getting the pulse of the people? Or will people actually be silent today and express themselves only later? But to those on the panel tonight who said, LIC में इंडिया है, मैं आपको बता दूं, भारतीय जीवन बीमा निगम, भारतीय जीवन बीमा निगम उसका नाम है। अग्रवाल जी, तो रोहित अग्रवाल जी, तो वो भी सुन लीजिए। और संजय झा जी, आपको भी बता दूं जाते जाते, 2004 में आपकी सरकार कैसी आई थी कांग्रेस पार्टी की? क्योंकि इंडिया शाइनिंग मिसफायर्ड एंड कांग्रेस पार्टी स्टार्टेड टॉकिंग अबाउट इंडिया में बी शाइनिंग, लेकिन भारत इज अनदर वर्ल्ड कंप्लीटली। आप बोले तो सत्य वचन, कोई और बोले तो मिथ्य कथा। ऐसे वाले लॉजिक ना ही इस्तेमाल करें, क्योंकि देश की जनता, सब लोग 18 साल के नहीं हैं, उन्हें पुराना भी याद है और नए बात का भी पता है। वेल, दैट्स ऑल द टाइम दैट आई हैव ऑन दिस डिबेट। पर सुधांशु जी ने हाथ उठाया है, तो हमेशा एक कपलेट से एंड करते हैं। सुधांशु जी,
बस एक लाइन, बहुत ही लाइट सेंटेंस। इंडिया का यूज जब भी हुआ है इलेक्शन से पहले, उसके रिजल्ट बहुत अच्छे नहीं रहे। जैसे इंडिया शाइनिंग हमने यूज किया, हम लूज कर गए थे। इंडिया इज इंदिरा इन्होंने यूज किया था, 77 में लूज कर गए थे। नाउ दे हैव टू डिसाइड वेदर टू यूज दिस वर्ड इंडिया इन द इलेक्शन और नॉट।
Well, we leave it to the astrologers to figure that one out. For now, thank you very much to all my panelists for joining me on debate number 1. On the other side,